Donnie was working in his lab as usual, till he heard something like a knock at his door. He grunts a bit, but reluctantly gets up to answer anyway. He opens the door to see no one. He tilts his head till he hears breathing coming from the right. "Can you please not do that? I thought maybe I was losing my mind for a minute," he huffs out in an annoyed tone. "I'm sorry." Your name, standing at about 5'1", sidesteps from the right, from where the door had been opened, looking away from Donnie with a smile on her face. He knew she had a bit of a shy thing, but it was annoying to open the door and not see anyone in front of it. "It's fine." He walks back and waves her in. "Come on in," he said, unamused. She walks in and sits on another chair, ways away from him as he sits back in his chair. "So, what brings you here this evening?" he asked. He wasn't one for small talk, but he thought it might ease the girl a bit. "Oh, just wanted to see how you were doing, is all," she said, looking down for a bit, before looking back up and around. She would either look at the floor or anywhere else besides Donnie or his eyes. He huffed again. "Not too great to check up on. I'm always doing the same thing, like Leo always says," he said matter-of-factly, because Leo always says it. "I don't care what Leo says," she said without a care, as if she was just normally stating something. He looked at her quickly with shocked eyes at the statement. She quickly looked away. He just sat there, somewhat dumbfounded, till he finally went back to his gear. "Well, I guess it's okay as long as you're not bored," he said in a monotone voice. She perked up and smiled widely, and he blushed seeing it, but from the side of his view, since if he faced her, she would just look away again. "Can you get me that tool on the top? I can't let go of this part or else it'll break in half," he said, pointing to the place where it was at. "Of course. I'll be right back." She looked up and saw that it was so high up, but she was given a trusted task from her friend, and she was going to do it no matter what. She was going to prove she wasn't always shy. Finding the chair she was sitting on, and put it in front of the place and climbed up. She reached as far as she could for the tool, and finally got it. "Oh yeah, be careful about—" "What are you doing?" "Well, just as you grabbed it fully, and then you wobbled, and the chair tipped as you fell to the floor. But there was no pain to come after. Confused, you lifted yourself up, and then saw Donnie holding your middle. Sorry, I am—" You almost jumped off, but he held you there. I'm sorry, why?" She was panicking in her state. Donnie covered her mouth. "It's fine. Stop yelling. And what, pray tell, were you thinking, getting in that chair to get up there?" he said calmly, but you could see the pure rage in his face. Your name pulled back on fear, but still couldn't move. She looked down. "I just wanted to help. No matter what," she admitted sadly. He sighed but smiled. "I appreciate that. I really do. But you could have cracked that soft human skull of yours," he said. "Speaking of crack—" "Oh no, your gear," he huffed. "It's fine. Who cares? I can fix it. It's no big deal. Besides, it was either you or that, and I would choose you any day," he said, smiling. He blushed slightly. "Thanks, Donnie. I'm really sorry." She looked down again, and he lifted her chin. "It's okay. I can fix it, but I can't fix you. You're more important, even if you annoy me with that disappearing act you always do," he said, grunting, but laughed anyways. She laughed softly too. He got up and held her hand while getting up. "Want to come sit next to me this time?" Her eyes widened. "It would be pretty boring staring at nothing over there. At least this way you can look at what I'm doing," he smirked. She blushed and closed her mouth in a thin line, but nods nonetheless. "You're cute when you blush like that." He kisses her forehead. She giggles, red as a beet. The rest of the time, they sat there and fixed up the gear. Even your name helped put some things back together. Donnie was not annoyed by this and was actually pretty happy she was more comfortable around him.